Jesus is last on most people's list of things that they care about. And what that means is, oh, God first, bro. God first, bro. Oh, God first, bro. But it's like, are you really putting in the effort that Jesus wants you? Are you really spreading the gospel? Are you really reading your Bible? Are you really denying yourself? Are you really doing the things that he wants you to do? Now, I'm not perfect. I'm sinful. I sin every single day, just like every other, 7.8 billion people on this planet do. My point in saying that is, it just sucks to see a society, especially my generation, a declining society that no one cares about God no more. People will put all of their time through everything else, to everything else, the gym, their career, their wife, their kids, their everything else, watching TV, reality TV shows, whatever it is, but you won't pick up your Bible. You won't spread the gospel. You're too embarrassed. You're too embarrassed to talk about Jesus. My point in saying that is we need to stand up. Someone needs to try to change this. People need to start being more consistent with spreading the gospel. You know what I mean? There's a lot of men in the Bible who, were criticized, were killed for the faith, and we can't even post a video on YouTube, on TikTok. We can't even have a conversation with someone at Starbucks, at church, at our work. It's just sad to me. It just makes no sense. You know what I mean? The disciples had brutal deaths, all of them except John, of course. He got, cast out to Patmos, Greece. But all of them had brutal deaths. But we can't even spread the gospel. It just makes no sense to me. We got to be a lot more like Solomon. He had riches, he had fruits, he had vineyards, he had wives, he had concubines, he had everything. He had money, he had kingdoms, he had lands, acres, everything, servants. But he still realized that everything is just vexation of the spirit. Everything is just vanity under the sun. And that Jesus is the only one, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, that we should serve. And we should do our best to strive to be like, because Jesus is the most masculine. He's the most powerful. He's the most polite. He's the most patient. He's everything. He's like everything in one thing that you would want. You know what I mean? And I see the declining Christians, people getting brought up in the church when they're kids, but once they turn 18 and they go to college or whatever, they stop being Christians. I've talked to many people, oh, well, I grew up Catholic or I grew up Christian, but, just not for me. I don't believe in God. Oh, well, how can there be a God if all these bad things are happening? How can there be a God if he allows people to get killed and raped and kidnapped? I'm like, God wouldn't be God if he just intervened on every evil situation. He might as well just snap his fingers and make everything the Garden of Eden again, right? He has to let us play out our lives because that's our purpose. God makes no mistakes. People think God makes mistakes. He really doesn't. So just continue, be patient, seek him, serve him, let his face shine upon you, and trust me, he will give you the most peace, the most understanding you've ever had. And I feel like choosing Jesus at the center of your life, really first, everything else will fall underneath. But if you're putting everything else before him, and then kind of sprinkling him in there, it's not going to work, man. God bless.